together. How are you a PhD hanging out with Sudi? That cannot be true. So we want to tell him we might...
The box. Okay. Sifuna, closing remarks.
It doesn't matter how much time you give Ojienda and Aladwa. They will never persuade me that that Ruto is good for the country. In fact, time is up. There is very little that Ruto can do in the intervening period to save his presidency. And he knows it. That is why his allies are speaking the way that he does. That is why he is insulting the public and telling them off every turn he gets. Told us that he has a PhD and nobody should lecture him on anything. I've never seen a PhD who hangs out with class 2 dropouts, because what you do then is that you reduce the average intelligence to at least class 8. If you are just surrounded by, they say birds of a feather flock together. How are you a PhD hanging out with Sudi? That cannot be true. So we want to tell him we might not have PhDs, but we know how we feel about our country and where the country needs to be. And we will say these things, Trevor. Nobody will scare us. Nobody will threaten us. As I've told you, there is nothing that I have today that you can take away from me that will result in me dying or something. No. For as long as you don't cut off my head, it doesn't matter. I will speak the truth as I see it. And I will say the things that I have to say, because these are the things that people are telling me to say. I don't represent myself. I represent over 2.5 million voters here in Nairobi. I don't know how many judges Ekuru represents on this show. Because his stronghold is the Court of Appeal.
Gentlemen, thank you for making time.
No, that's your court of, you are just a Court of Appeal expert.
Sifuna, Nairobi Senator, and Dr. Ekuru quote that
who's a PS for Foreign Affairs, who speaks what we call English of the nose. I don't know where that guy went to school. His goofs have contributed to this particular loss.
He was my classmate.
Did he still have that accent when he was in primary? He was newly acquired. Because after Besigye was extradited from Nairobi, actually abducted and sent back to DRC, he was on Citizen TV.
Uganda.
Yeah. Back to Uganda. He was on Citizen TV spewing a lot of nonsense. This is not something that we can stand for as a country. And I'm glad that this AU thing is behind us now, so that we can speak a few truths. Because there are people who have been trying to gag us and tell us, oh, if you say this, you will spoil your relations with Uganda, that I cannot condemn the abduction of Besigye, who is my personal friend, because Museveni will not vote for me. I am telling you, we told Baba that just because he was running for AU, we did not suspend our constitution. We did not suspend our constitution. If something is wrong, we have a responsibility to say that it is wrong. At the end of the day, there was nothing wrong with the candidate. Everybody agrees that we had a stellar candidate. We had the best candidate. If you look at his reputation on the continent, if you look at the positions that he takes, but unfortunately, he was weighed down by these albatross across his neck, being the diplomatic goose of this country. So there is really nothing that William Ruto seems to be getting right. Not internal issues, not external issues.
Your party is supposed to be supporting the president.
Which party?
You don't sound like
which party? Which party is supposed to be supporting the president?
The ODM.
ODM's position has been very clear, and I want to take the words of my acting party leader, Nyang' Nyong'o, that this question is now becoming ridiculous. How many times can we answer a question? How many times? Which is this answer? What do you mean by our people?
Some of it.
I want you to understand that ODM is a party of order. There is hierarchy in the party. I wish I could read to you the provisions of the constitution of ODM, that when it comes to matters of coalitions and who we associate or who we are going to support in the presidential candidate, you don't listen to every riffraff. The constitution of the party vests that role in the party leader. And yesterday I urged and asked the members of ODM, you can just wait for Raila to come. You can just wait for Raila to come. Some of these riffraff saying, oh, we will support William Ruto because he shared a vehicle with Raila Odinga. Are you telling me if William Ruto had driven off and left Raila there would be no vehicle to take Raila to that venue? We need to be serious as a party. So when you see these people talking, listen to the leadership of the party. We can just wait for Baba to come. And I want to advise William Ruto.
Baba has not come.
No. He has not come. He's not here. He has not come. I want to advise William Ruto, because the good thing is that William Ruto is also a founder member of ODM. Yes. He knows ODM. The value you attach to an endorsement by saying we pick a name is zero, because those people at the end of the day are loyal to Raila Amolo Odinga. The day Raila stands up and says we are going for this seat, none of those people you hear, his praise and worship team in parliament saying, oh, William, we will support you. None of those people will be there to support William Ruto. I can assure you. So as ODM, I'm telling you, and I've said it on this show, and I've said it on this show, Trevor, my position is, even if ODM supports Ruto, Ruto will still lose. I have said it here and I repeat it. So I want to make it very clear that as a party, we do not support either the internal affairs or the way the external affairs of this country are being run. And
For
this
now,
is a reputation.
because he said when the party leadership comes back, he will give direction.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Let me make another thing clear. Yeah. ODM will only enter into alliances with political parties that are like-minded, political parties that are pro-people, people who can manage a country. You are not going to force us into an alliance with incompetent people. And it has been demonstrated that the Kenya Kwanza government is the most incompetent so far from independence. So they have mismanaged our country, they have mismanaged our democracy, they have mismanaged our economy, they have now mismanaged our international affairs. So our standing in the community of nations is now under, in tatters.
My direct question is,
yes.
So what if Raila says we are supporting William Ruto in 2027? Then what?
William Ruto will lose that election with Raila's support.
Okay.
Yes. I think I actually want to agree with the Trevor. I mean, no, with the senator. But what he's also not saying to Kenyans, honestly, is that ODM is Raila and Raila is ODM. Sifuna knows that very well. And let me tell you this. You see, luckily we are all lawyers here of many years of legal practice, including academia. There are two words that we use in legal, in legal jurisprudence: de jure, de facto. Now, de jure is, of course, basically within the law, but de facto is about facts. When Sifuna says that ODM is not supporting William Ruto or they are not in government, I mean, we know open statements out there where we are now talking about broad-based government. Although for me, it is actually bread-based government, because it's about people just wanting to be in government for their own selfish interest.
Yeah.
We had some of the closest allies of Sifuna's party leader, being promoted into positions of cabinet. Opio Andai is not just an ordinary. Asan Joho, Mbadi, and Oparanya. We know those are very top leadership. They were top leadership in ODM. And therefore, let's not lie to Kenyans. Yes, you may not have signed any coalition agreement with the Kenya Kwisha or Kenya Kwanza, as Kenyans prefer to call it, but truth for the matter is, the fact for the matter is that we have got members, senior members of ODM actually in government. Okay. Wait, Sifuna, you will have your right.
You have your own political party. You run a very small outfit, my brother. We have a movement of 5 million people.
But we have,
let me just say this. On matters of ODM, I am the SG of ODM and I'm here. And how can you know more about it?
Therefore, you will respond.
I am very happy to run a small outfit.
Yeah, so I want to explain something.
Than for you to pretend you are the biggest political party, but you're just suckers.
No,
you just suck up to. Come on.
Let me explain something.
Can I? The reason why Can I finish? Can I finish?
You'll respond. Just write it down.
The problem with ODM.
Finish.
I will. I will.
Yes.
The problem with all these ODM people. Look, if there is even a contradiction here. You have got Sifuna in ODM. You have got Ojenda in ODM. All pretending that actually they're not supposed. But let me tell you, ODM will always speak of principles so long as they are outside government. I use the example of Mbadi,